Hello.
Hi. It feels like a Mercury retrograde moment.
Yes, we had that's exactly what I was thinking after my phone literally froze in the middle of trying to do the Facebook Live through the phone. I was like, well, maybe it just works better on the app.
Yeah,
No. Um, anyway, here we are
here we are.
today. For anyone watching this video, we are the founders of Spiritual Woman's Guide to Love. I'm Kristen, um, of Kristen Today.
And I'm Elizabeth.
Yes, and we are here to help you figure out this love thing. And a big part of that is dating. So we have an Ask Me Anything dating thing. And since we're on Zoom, people may not be showing up. So we just ask each other's things. The background noise, that's Archer, my son, enjoying some rice. His favorite thing in the world.
Really, right?
He loves rice. Yeah. And lately he says he's going to eat it all. And then he did the other day. So we'll see if we get any left after that.
So cute.
So, yeah, dating. Uh, there's a lot of pressure so there's the dating when you're first meeting somebody, and then there's the dating when you've been dating somebody for a while. And then there's kind of my boat of like dating after kids, which is almost non-existent.
Or even dating after marriage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are
There's
you nervous about that? Because you're going to be getting married
all these
here,
elements
so.
of dating. Am I nervous about dating?
After marriage.
No,
Okay, why not?
because Lauren and I are we love dates. We value romance. We value adventures, and it's like every day kind of feels like a date.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I worry about dating after a child. Maybe, what you said, it's non-existent.
Yeah, well, it's virtually. It's definitely takes a lot of planning.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
spontaneity, the romantic has to come more spontaneous for us at least, and for other parents, it's just planned. Um, but it's not like we can be like, oh, let's go on a date, and we do some sort of, we get lost on the beach, and then we find this random vendor who like speaks the soothsayer wisdom, like we don't have those kind of dates very often anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Do you miss it?
Yes and no. um, I think that the the dates we do have now are a little bit more intentional, so we're doing higher quality things, like more fun activities. And at the same time, it's a lot of pressure. Like, okay, like we have so much to talk about, and how do we get it all in there? So something we've been doing lately is that we've been having regular weekly meetings about life, so that the dates don't become about catching up on making sure our lives don't fall apart.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can see that, but that's smart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm hopeful for our next date. We just have to book it.
yeah, yeah. And what do you book? Like once every 2 weeks, once a month, once a week?
I think we'd like to do it at twice a month, and I know that sounds crazy, but right now we're just trying to get back in the rhythm after traveling. So once a month is going to be really nice for us, especially on a weekend, because the weekends just get filled up so quickly.
Totally.
And that's when our babysitter is primarily available, is in the weekends. So
Yeah.
that's what we're going to do. And I think we're debating whether it's going to be Anthony's birthday or if it's going to be some sort of date, but we're talking about hang gliding or um, indoor skydiving. Like, I mean, he's really into the action adventure, and I'm feeling like that might be a good thing for me too, to just to shake things up.
Totally. Yeah.
Or like sometimes there's the beach, which we don't go to nearly enough. Besides today, yeah.
Amazing.
What
Amazing.
about you? What? How do you guys plan your dates?
We don't. Um, we don't plan much.
Did I hear exasperation there? Like,
No, we're, I think it's, we tell each other that we're very lucky because our weekends are so free, right?
mm-hmm.
And it's always kind of what we feel, and we end up planning our dates together, and let's do movies this weekend, or we're kind of really big on like getaways, like going to Ojai for a night, or Palm Desert to the hot springs. Like, I think we kind of feel when we need to exit Los Angeles, and I feel like that little escape becomes our dates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's really high quality stuff too. I remember living in New York, like we never really fully figured out the art, what I called the art of being a New Yorker, which is knowing when you have to get out.
Right. Yeah,
It keeps you sane.
totally.
Like
Yeah,
for me, like when I feel sane personally, I'm a much better partner than
right,
when I'm
right.
not.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do it. Um, Lauren operates like with action and behavior, like he needs to be doing. And
Uh-huh.
I operate more with like perception. So it's like he has the urge to get out, and then it shifts my perception as I like follow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we come back, and I think, was it you who were saying like the changes in environment, like it changes us, right? So I think even you can take that into dating. It's like getting out of your comfort zone, going somewhere, being in a new environment with someone new, hearing something new about them. It changes you guys, changes everything,
Mm-hmm. I
right?
think that's for me too. That was a big learning curve for me too, to not feel like I need to control the date. Like I didn't have to be responsible for the whole date's success or not.
Mm,
Like I used to take on a lot, and when I learned, like what you said, like Lauren, I think this is a male quality too. Like they just kind of like want to go somewhere, like they want to be in the action, and then it's like it's a little bit disorienting, and I freak out every time a little bit, and I'm like, ah! But it's just like, oh, am I on a roller coaster? And I just settle. I'm like, oh, actually, this is pretty good. I
yeah,
feel alive. So I think that's something too at any stage of dating, is like trusting your guy. And even if you just met somebody, like how he manages that is, I think, really an interesting thing of understanding if he's like a good, potentially good partner.
right, right. Yeah. Because, yeah, and really it's like, yeah, you want someone that likes change, that has that zeal to kind of get out of life's routine, right? And who's going to bring you along, and get you out of your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
Grow. That's you growing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, too, it's important to state your boundaries. Like, okay, I do not feel comfortable going into a dark alley with somebody I just met.
Right, right.
But in the same vein, too, it's like, okay, if you really want to grow with somebody, like I think most spiritually aligned people are,
Yeah,
then I think you're right. It does suggest that you are going to be uncomfortable,
right.
because growth takes shedding, it takes intention. It takes new perspective.
Right. Yeah. And just even talking this out with you, I can feel that we grow by our men kind of in action, and they grow by us and our perceptions and our views and our values.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting, or at least that's how my relationship has really shaped to be.
Mine too. And I think that the more I relax and trust my partner Anthony, the
Yeah,
more he like takes ownership of his own self and his masculinity, and I find him more attractive. And
totally.
like
Yeah,
it's like this like hardwired thing going on
yeah,
here.
yeah.
That like ever like it's like hard because when you after you date like when you first date people, like there's the instant like, oh, we have chemistry or we don't, right? But it
Mm-hmm.
can be harder to feel that same primal connection with somebody. And I think that's kind of how it keeps getting created, is us like trusting and opening and sharing our perspective, and them like stepping more and more into a positive aspect of masculinity, which, you know, women are figuring out how to be empowered women, and men are also figuring out how to be thoughtful, caring men by also being in their strengths.
Right. Definitely.
Run a frontier together.
Yeah. 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 Amazing.
Yeah. That's fun to explore. I didn't expect it going in that direction.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, what
So,
else about dating?
I was just gonna talk about that. What about um the whole feminine masculine roles of pain on dates?
Pain?
Pain, like
Oh, paying. Yeah.
that when you first start dating someone.
Yeah, that's a little awkward. I agree.
Yeah.
For me, I always, I didn't really date that much, first of all, but I always felt more comfortable offering.
Mm-hmm.
And my struggle, my learning was learning how to accept, no, I have it.
Like you still wanted to like split the bill or
Or it just was hard for me to accept anything,
interest.
really. I felt over responsible for everything.
Right, right, right.
So I felt responsible for how the date went. I felt responsible for paying my way. Like it was like I didn't deserve it. That's what I was going through in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
think the other end of that is like if you expect somebody to pay for you, that's not who I wanted to be perceived as. Like, oh, I expect you to pay for me, or that it's like proof. I didn't want him to, and I still think this is like not a good mindset. It's like I don't want him to have to prove that he's going to take care of me by paying for me.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's tricky.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about you? What are your feelings on this?
I, me and a lot of my friends, I think that um, we're really good at being alone and being successful. And it
Mhm.
feels good to be able to support ourselves. And then it's this like awkward moment of like you're gonna get it, or I want to pay half, or of
Mhm.
course, and then it's a surrender into okay, I'll let you.
Yeah, it's letting. Yeah.
It's so weird. But then it's again, it's like, but maybe I want to get dinner next time. Or I guess I don't have the whole perspective that a man should always pay,
Mhm.
right? And I think you start for me, I started kind of getting in that exchange from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just an interesting topic for, I think, today's women.
Modern woman, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like it's healthy to say, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
And
Always.
it's also like internally, it feels like I don't want to need you. I don't want you to feel like I need you.
Right.
I don't want you to have that power over me yet.
Yes. Not yet. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that, like, for me, I'm kind of interested in how this would work out too. And like this idea of more radical communication, like, because after some of the first dates, there's the whole dance between when do you text and when um, do you call, do you not call? And I'm interested in like what would happen if you just say, hey, I want to text tonight and tomorrow. And does it mean that I'm ready to get married to you? It just means I like connection, and this game, this dance of like guessing when we have to talk to each other really kind of stresses me out. And so I'm wondering, like, if you have that kind of radical conversation or whatever, because that's, to me, it's like who would talk about that in one of the first dates.
Yeah.
Um, it's like, okay, um, maybe we can pay for this first date together, and then we can, if we want to continue dating each other, we take turns um, showing parts of what we like about ourselves to each other. We think about it as gifts to each other instead of whatever. Because to me, like an idea of generosity and sharing, that's what it should really be about. It's different than this division of power through
Yeah.
money.
Yeah. And I like what you're saying. I like the title of radical communication, right? Because there comes the bill and it's this like tension building, right? Instead of just like, how about you just talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Exactly the way you said, like, what's wrong with that? Good, great, relief. Same thing with it, and it's so simple. Is it really radical or is it just like
I
simple?
I think it's simple, but like, can you imagine like bringing that up? Like even when you're, I don't know. Sometimes I have new friendships, and I'm like, I have a feeling they want to pay, you know. And it's like, do I bring it up or how do I receive that? And to me, it's like it's interesting.
Right,
It's an
right,
interesting thing to not feel like you have to pay someone back when they pay for you, or that you can just be that he doesn't have to feel demasculated by you paying half of it on a first date or whatever.
right, right.
If that's what you like.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're saying so, but is it radical? Do you think it's radical?
It kind of is because it's not, I don't think it doesn't happen too often, I feel. Yeah, but it's needed, I feel. I think it's something radical that leads to some simplicity in the connection and in the relationship,
Hmm.
I feel. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing you saying is that um, maybe if you take away some of those barriers right from the get-go that make you nervous and confused, you can just really check in human to human to see if it's a good connection.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then even if like you're like starting up dating again, like Anthony and me, right?
Right. Right.
It's like, well, if we have radical communication, like, oh, let's set some ground rules about what we don't talk about today. Like that would be like, oh.
That's great.
Hmm.
Yeah. I like that.
I'm gonna do that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Because then, yeah, you're always adding in what some novelty, right? Yeah,
Hmm.
I like that.
Yeah. Well, I know that we wanted to wrap up around now. Are there any? It's like it's like a little blast of like, isn't this interesting? We definitely need to talk about this more.
Yeah, yeah. So this is a little dose of some interesting dating questions and tips, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we can post this and see if anyone has questions
Yeah.
and see what comes up.
Yeah, and I think we would be pretty doable to just respond to them
Yeah, for sure.
through the Facebook group.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Let's do
Cool.
that then.
Okay.
Good night. High fives.
Bye.
Yay.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.